So, coming on to the next topic for today, something I'm excited to talk about. Newcastle United's probably showing their inexperience after that loss the last week. That was probably heartbreaking in some respects. They were, they didn't turn up against Brighton, did they, Deepak?
No, I think they just did not turn up. You're right. Well, I managed to avoid this conversation until the last, but we have to do this. Yeah, it was just a horrendous show. It
Yeah.
was like we just didn't turn up. It was
My
like
heart is singing. But yeah, carry on.
a bunch of competition winners trying to play football against a professional team. It was really bad. The first 10 minutes was so good though. Like I thought we were gonna compensate for that Liverpool loss. We started on the front foot. We had two big chances Isaac missed, and from there
Can
on,
I
I
just
have no idea what happened. I have
interject
no
something
idea.
here? I will just tell something. All right, I first decided to just go through the highlights and see what are the important events were. Newcastle United had three probable positive moments in the game. All
Mm.
those three happened in the first 4 minutes, and
Yeah,
that's
that's what
it.
the
And
first
that
10
was
minutes
the
was
end
so
of it.
good. I don't know
And then
what happened,
Newcastle
Monish,
comes up
because
only by substituting players. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, we're removing Tonali, we're bringing someone
we
else in.
we just ended up playing so well in the 10 minutes. We were playing front foot football, pressing them from their goal, from their penalty box, which was working. I have no idea what happened after that 10 minutes. Did everybody drop off? Did everybody decide to, okay, fine, we have done it for 10 minutes. I don't know. Perhaps the team was, you're right, just didn't turn up. There was a
You,
clear
you,
hangover from
you
that Liverpool defeat. And
There was,
uh,
and you need a leader on the pitch. For whatever said and done, you need a leader on the pitch. I'm not
honestly, I
saying
don't.
Bruno always turns up, but you
Last
need
time the
some.
leader has always been Trippier, and he has been such a good leader since we signed him. But yeah, you're right. Perhaps we need another voice in there to get
You do.
everybody riled up. The other problem is the other leader on the pitch technically has always been Callum Wilson, who has been at the club for ages, leading goal scorer, has even last year scored close to 20 goals. Problem is Isaac is being preferred to Callum Wilson, and I don't think that's a problem. Isaac is a better player than Callum Wilson and has a
Definitely.
higher ceiling than Callum Wilson for sure. But it takes away that leadership element, perhaps, because Wilson is very proactive on the press. Wilson is very proactive organizing teams for the press. He keeps pressing, keeps pressing. He does all the work that sort of a player you'd expect to do, and that's why they have likes him. But because Isaac has
The
come in, that's sort of suffered. That part of the team has slightly suffered, I feel.
what about the goals? The first goal was honestly a mistake, a clear-cut mistake over there by Nick
Nick
Pope.
Pope has not
Nick
been
Pope,
that
yeah,
to that level this season.
he hasn't.
He was probably the
I
goalkeeper of the season last year in the league,
I
honestly,
think
because
he was.
how well he
I
was.
think I would hold him culpable for, if I'm not wrong, two of the goals that happened.
No, I think he has been quite inspiring over the last
Yeah, this season he
just
has been
this
bad.
since the season started. He underwent a hand surgery in over the summer, and it transpired when he underwent the hand surgery that he had been playing with a broken bone in his hand from last February, and he ended up trying to make it through the season. I'm not sure whether trying to do that has cost him a lot of damage, which is dropped
No, but
him a level, and he had to undergo the surgery. And after the surgery, it doesn't look like he's back at that level yet. Perhaps it's
definitely.
just about giving him a few more games and hoping that the rustiness wears off and he comes back to that level. But he's not there yet, and I think it's probably justified that Gareth Southgate dropped him for the England squad, which wasn't expected at all. That's the only
True.
unexpected call Southgate made. He still picked Harry Maguire and Calvin Phillips for some reason, but uh, he has dropped Nick Pope.
Yep. So Newcastle over there. So what do you think Newcastle has to do apart from, okay, they need to turn up the next game? Let me tell you something. So that's what I was talking about Manchester United. They really look like they didn't turn up for the second half of Tottenham. Whereas in the Arsenal game they were trying. At least when you look at some fight in your players, you have some hope. That is
Mm,
what that's and that is why the fans weren't, okay. Some of them are asking for Ten Hag's head. But if you listen to the fans, I mean, I think most of the, I mean, at least 40 to 50% of Manchester United fans were asking for Sir Alex Ferguson's resignation in 2004, and then he, built a completely new team later.
Yeah.
So you don't always have to listen to them. That's what I'm trying to say. But what else does Newcastle need apart from
No, I
maybe
think
some
we need
injection of
a lot
experience
more
and
quality. When Dan Ashworth
which
came in,
position? The
uh,
one position you would say.
yeah, so when Dan Ashworth came in, he said that to overhaul a squad would take 3 summer windows, not 3 transfer windows, 3 summer windows. And we are going to get to that third window next year. And we have at least one big glaring position in the squad which has not been filled, and that would be the right wing position. Almiron was really good last year, but I think that was a sort of purple patch. Perhaps he's not able to maintain that consistency, and he has struggled. Well, he's not struggled, but he has struggled to finish off chances. He has not struggled to make chances, but the finishing off part is where he has historically struggled, and that's been the case again this
True.
season. So that right wing position, in my opinion, is a big hole to be filled. We also don't have a technical number six who can sit and defend in front of the back four. Eddie Howe's never played with a technical number six. He's played with a
Yeah, I was
rotating.
wondering that's not his
Um,
style, is it?
yeah, he's always played with a three midfield who does a bit of everything, who can attack, who can defend, and who take turns to drop back. But perhaps when you're progressing to another level, a number six would make things easier when a lot of attackers are on the other side of the pitch to stop counters from happening. But that's
Can
another
I
potential
add
gap.
one more thing that I think would be interesting to see in Newcastle? So the difference being that most of the clubs they have a style of play when they go to Europe. They normally do change their game. Even Pep Guardiola realized he had to change the game, and then later he started overthinking his, because in Europe the style of play is different, and you do not know the clubs as well as you know them. They're not as well scouted. Their
Mm.
stadiums are different. The weather is different, so you have to adapt and adapt
Mm.
quite a bit.
We've got an
It
easy
would be,
Champions League group though, so
but
should be
it would
fun.
be interesting to see how Newcastle tackle Europe.
Yeah, that's what we've got a very easy Champions League group. It was being
Yeah,
sarcastic. If you remember,
I know,
it's
I know, I know, I know.
Paris
I mean,
Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, and
I
AC
know,
Milan.
I know. I mean,
Honestly, I'm actually not fussed
and
about it.
AC.
We most likely get dropped in the group
No,
stage, but it's three elite clubs.
no, you cannot say. But I think AC Milan also started this season very well. By the way, they're looking good.
Yeah, Milan have
Uh,
been Dortmund have been frustrating as ever. Um, I
so
still
maybe
don't know
Newcastle
how
goes on.
Dortmund lost the title last season. Sorry, you were saying?
So maybe Newcastle can just sneak through.
Uh, I would have believed that just prior to the Brighton game, but perhaps this international break is good. It gives us some time to reset and go back to basics and start doing everything actually how we have been doing, and not forget that there are 10 minutes remaining in a game, or forget that there are only 10 minutes in a game, as evidenced by Brighton. So,
Maybe
uh,
they decided to play those missing 10 minutes today. I mean,
yeah,
in this
exactly. If we
against
had
Brighton.
combined that 10 minutes from Brighton to the Liverpool game, we would have come out with 10 points. So, yeah, we didn't end up showing up for the last 10 minutes against Liverpool, and we didn't end up showing up for 80 minutes
Difficult
against
run of
Brighton. So,
fixtures, but Newcastle is not looking very good, honestly, even on the table right now.
yeah, it was a tough run of fixtures. I think it was a very tough run. Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, and Brighton. Um, we won the easiest of those four, I think. Easiest of those
Yeah, and
four is
Aston Villa
definitely
is
Aston
doing very
Villa
well after you guys beat them,
after
huh?
you guys. So clearly they are a good team as well. And Man City losing 1-0, I don't think was too much of a problem. Um,
Liverpool
if
was
you want to look at the
heartbreaking.
bright side, this is what I've been telling myself. If you want to look at the bright side, Newcastle have played 90 minutes of bad football. That's it this season. That was the last 10 minutes against Liverpool and the 80 minutes against Brighton, essentially. Or even if you want to take the
But
whole
but
Brighton
but
game, it's one
no.
bad game and 10 minutes against Liverpool. That's
But
the
let me put it this
blinkered
way.
view of it.
But their worst football has been the most recent football.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what worries you
It's just
when such things happen.
it's a very blinkered view of the situation. It is not a
Exactly.
realistic way to probably look at it, but when you're a fan, you probably do give yourself
You
some
have
hope
to.
by
Yes,
giving
you do.
looking at the blinkered situation.
What
But
about
I'm
Liverpool?
still hopeful that Eddie Howe will find a way through. This is not what his teams have been about. It's not like we are playing the way he wants us to play and we are getting bet. We are definitely not playing the way he has been playing for a while. So something's missing there. Hopefully,
True.
this break allows us to reset.
What about Liverpool? Salah is staying.
Uh,
I think
Salah is
the
staying.
Saudi
Yeah,
transfer
the
market
window's
is
officially closed today, and Salah is staying. So, which means that they have most of their players available, and they've signed Gravenberch on deadline day, which I think is a great signing. Again, not a number six that they probably needed for Fabinho, but he's one of the many number eights that they have, and they can probably rotate um, back and forth. Sort of
yeah.
like how you talked about Eddie Howe doing a straight three midfield who does turns in between to rotate into that defensive role. So that's probably what Klopp is planning on as well. It depends on how many points Alexander Arnold will give away, I guess.
Uh, yeah, about that. A lot of Liverpool fans, I think they're big Alexander Arnold fanboys. I still don't rate him much, but yeah, I mean, he's a good player. It's just that he should be a bit more well hidden then. I mean, the way how James Ward-Prowse is not managing to make things worse. That's the basic thing you need from a player. More importantly, Liverpool looking really good. I think this, as I mentioned, this is the season I think is going to be the last good or great season from this team. They are all getting close to the end of their prime. Okay, some of them have lost
At
pace.
this point, it's only Salah and Van Dijk who's remaining from that activity.
Allison
Well, Alisson, I
and
think, has
Allison is the
still got
most
a
in
lot more to go because first of all,
exactly.
he plays as a goalkeeper, and
No, what I'm saying
second,
is about the old team, the team that basically was the Liverpool's,
yeah.
the
Uh,
Champions League and the Premier League. Yes, a
there's
lot of
also
them have moved
Robertson
on.
and Alexander Arnold, but I think Van Dijk and Salah will probably get replaced at the end of the season, as you said.
Yeah, they are looking slow, and a lot of their game does depend on speed. So uh, these five were the crux of that team. So losing them is going to be a big loss for them. I
Well,
mean,
perhaps
it started
if the
last year
team is
with Mane.
evolving, it's not going to be too difficult.
Yeah,
But
no, but what I'm trying to say is that that's what. So they're gonna have that. That's the character of the team is going to change completely. They will
hmm,
get new players, and see the only thing the players you remember when you think of Liverpool is are these two or three very important players, very
yep.
senior, very like the three world class players in that team are Salah, Van Dijk, and Allison. Allison actually saved them already this season. So yeah, I think they will do well this season. So there are five teams unbeaten.
Yep.
Surprisingly, West Ham is
And
in there in that
obviously,
list.
Spurs are doing Angeball football. And
It's weird. Kind of enjoy his football. He seems
yeah,
more
I think
exciting.
again,
He brought the Spursiness back.
yeah, no, I think
The
Angeball is something that was what Spurs needed. It was the actual antidote that Spurs needed.
yeah. I
But
mean, after
I,
Mourinho and
I'm
Conte and all of that.
I'm still not sure whether they'll win stuff, but at least they'll be
Yeah.
entertaining while doing it.
Yeah, this is what Spurs do. They
Yeah,
entertain and they are fun to watch.
yep.
They were fun to watch. They've always been, Harry Redknapp's time as well, with
Yeah,
Gareth
Harry
Bale and all
Redknapp's
of that.
time. Pochettino, a lot of fans I know were not huge fans of Pochettino compared to Redknapp because Pochettino played a bit more of tiki-taka sort of football where he was more insistent on passing, whereas Spurs have been just all-out attack. They're like
No,
Spurs
but then
teams.
after Pochettino left, and then they had
Yeah,
Mourinho, and then
they
they had
went
Conte,
all the
and
way
they
to
were
the
like,
other end. They went to
like,
Mourinho and Conte, which
yeah,
it's not surprised that it ended in disaster for
the
both.
only person who probably makes Mourinho look fun is Conte.
Yep.
Anyways, so I think they needed this. They needed this to get back the club in the sense that they wanted to be fun again, and they are fun now. They are fun to watch. They play interesting, exciting football, and they did remove a lot. They look like they are trying to move on a lot of players. Oh, and kudos to Arsenal to finally getting rid of Nicolas Pepe. Also, Manchester United getting rid of Eric Bailly.
Yep.
Newcastle, anyone? You managed to.
Jeff Hendrick.
Okay, congrats on that.
Yeah.
Whoever he
Uh,
is. I'm
uh,
sorry.
yeah, no, he has not played for us for 3 years or 4 years now. He has
Okay.
been on rotating loans with different clubs
All
every year.
right. So you're
And
doing
every
a
year it's
Chelsea
a
on him.
challenge to get him a club. And this time again on deadline day, got moved to Sheffield Wednesday. Uh, but
That's
yeah, let's see.
interesting. So that's
Isaac
it.
Hayden, we have not been able to sell. He's not going to
No
be part of
idea
the
again.
squad. Arsenal fans might know. We signed him from Arsenal. Well, Arsenal fans will be like, "Who's that?" So you wouldn't do it.
If they wouldn't know, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I
Probably they are
asked a
like
few
good
of my
riddance.
Arsenal friends, and they knew who Isaac Hayden was. Actually, he's a really good player, but Norwich bought him last year with an obligation to buy because he has a contract till 2028, and um, just a couple of
Newcastle
games into
gives.
Norwich's season, he broke his foot, and then he was back in Newcastle.
So,
Just looks like
so,
we can't get him.
so Newcastle actually also signs players to 8-year contracts to 2028, you said.
Yeah, so we gave him an astronomical contract for some mad reason when we were playing under Mike Ashley, 2028 to 2027. Um, for
Nice.
some reason, we gave him a huge ass contract till 2027, and we just can't get him out of it now.
Anyway, good luck. And that's it from the Global Footballer podcast. We are not
Like, share,
talking
and
about
subscribe.
Chelsea because there's not much to talk about. Haha. Anyways, like, share, and
All right.
subscribe.
Yep. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Thank you. See you. Bye.